Hello boys and girls, welcome to BenchART. I'm for Classic, and for today what I do have it is Tales of Arise, a game developed by Bandai Namco Entertainment, and this time, instead of using their internal engine, just like they have been doing with all their Tales games, they are using Unreal Engine 4. And so the question is, how the GTX 1650 Super handles Tales of Arise. So this is my recommended settings, and it is essentially playing at 1080p and put everything into maximum. Of course, you can personalize the things at your taste. If you don't like motion blur, you can disable it. But still, 1080p max, it's my recommended settings because it doesn't drop below 60. As you can see, I got an average of 88 with a 1% low of 67. 1440p though provides an average of 57 with a minimum of 43, and 4K at maximum, well, it does drop below 30 for the majority of the playthrough that I've tried. So I can't really recommend you to go with 4K max, but you can go with 4K low if you want. 4K low is essentially putting the game on minimum but at 4K, and by doing this, what I get it is a frame rate overall above 34 and an average of 46. So looking to the requirements, these guys don't ask too much from the CPU side, so they just ask an AMD FX, 8 gigs of RAM, and a GTX 970 or an AMD Radeon R9 390. So this is recommended, we are above the recommended, and we are absolutely fine with that. Alright, but this is, despite it is done by me, and I will be very honest with you, this is not a good benchmark, because I only tried these early moments into the game. This is not really the start of the game, but it's a little bit more forward than the start, but still the biome, it is essentially the same, so it's desert. This is not a good benchmark, alright, because as far as I know, Tales of Arise have much more complex environments than a simple desert. There will be moments with much more foliage and much more prettier than this. The question is, it is more demanding or not than these moments? I don't know. That's why this is not a good benchmark, and I fully admit it, because Tales of Arise, it is not a small game. Alright, it is an RPG which can take you a ton of hours for you to finish, so I didn't really have the time to explore other biomes because I was afraid that it would take me like 5, 6, 7, 10 hours to reach that point, because I don't know how much I would take, and I have other benchmarks to attend to, so I decided just to have this kind of quick look into the performance in these early moments of the game. But as far as I can say, at 1080p maximum settings, I haven't seen a single drop below 60. So I do believe that even in further environments of the game and with further special attacks, you might be able to handle the game above 60 with no issues. Probably a drop in there, here and there, when you perform a special attack, but still your experience will be great. Also, it is worth to mention that cutscenes in this game are kept to 60 frames per second. Alright, wherever if you have VSync on or off, your cutscenes will be 60. Alright, so I think that's all that I want to talk about the performance. Let's talk now very quickly about the game. Well, since I didn't spend too much time with the game, I can't really say how good or bad the game is, but there are some things that I will quote from reviewers, and some I don't really need to do it because it's very apparent. And let's start with the graphics. Graphics, it is clearly the biggest difference comparing to the predecessors, because they ditched their in-house engine and they are now using Unreal Engine 4, and they could still use more or less the visuals of the classic games, but no, they decide to take fully advantage of the engine, and I'm not saying that they are pushing boundaries in here, far from it, but they are making a very good use of the engine, very good aesthetic, and it is running great. Alright, that's one of the things that you should know about it. Now, the second thing is, well, the combat. The combat feels a little bit more loose. It seems to have more freedom into it, and because of that same reason, it feels more satisfied to play. There is now a new type of attack, which I don't know the name, but for example on Persona 4 it is called an all-out attack, which is where when you and your allies attack an enemy together, there is a kind of a special cutscene that appear with you and your allies attacking together. and causing massive damage to the opponent. Well, there's that. And for the rest, as far as I did understand with the reviewers, it is more of the same of Tales, which is not necessarily a bad thing, honestly, but it is great. One of the things where the game didn't evolve, though, it is really in the ways that the map are performed or done. Some people were expecting that this game to be fully open world, and it's not really the case. It is divided in small bunches, just like it happens in all traditional JRPGs, and Tales of Arise maintains that type of map. So basically, you are on this part of the map, and to traverse to other part, you need to pass through a kind of a loading screen. You have the mini-map on the corner, just all the traditional JRPGs have, and you can see even enemies when you are close to them on the map, and you can see them following them. So it's like the traditional JRPGs, nothing different on that regard, but still, whatever, traditional, not evolved or not, the game, it is being very well reviewed for what it is. Tales were not really necessarily a bad game, but they weren't really captivated to some audience. Alright, and now with this new engine, with this marketing that they have done, and the way that they refine the combat to be more mainstream for today's audience, it feels like it's working out, because it is the best-selling game actually on Steam at the moment, which is really great. I mean, best JRPG. Alright, launched on Steam at the moment. It really sold a lot at the early minutes, hours, or days, I don't know. But it was considered the best-selling JRPG on Steam. And the reviews have been great with the game. They have been... Metacritic have been having a score of 85 to 90 on the PC version. Steam reviews have been at 93% last time I checked. Users seems to be very satisfied. Some reviews are giving it 8.5. There is the review of GameSpot, which I don't recommend you to check it out, since it have been massively downvoted. I didn't watch the review because after the comments I did understood that users are massively unsatisfied with the review because the reviewer didn't know how to play the game. Please don't do that. Don't put people that don't actually know how to play games reviewing games. I'm no good with JRPG, so I would never review a JRPG, and I'm doing so basing in quotes of reviewers that know what they are doing. And that's it, guys. That's Tales of Arise for you. If you want a better review, please check other channels. I just wanted to give a quick highlight of what you can expect. Right, so there's that. Guys, thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
What's this thing?
Normally I don't pick on the weak. You're mine! Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
You're mine.
Fall back!
I'll bring you back from death's
How's
abyss.
this? Head is
I'll bring
coming.
you back from death's abyss.
They're targeting shield!
Here's a healing
I owe
arc.
you one.
First aid.
Swallow blade! Take this!
Wonder.
I'll run you through! Don't go charging off like
Here,
that!
let me help.
Mirage! Panic! No escape! Here I come! Slash! Swallow blade!
Here's a healing arc.
Rising Wyvern!
First aid. That took more energy than I expected.
Okay, people, this is it. Ulzebek.
No sign of any Renin guardsmen.
The Renins aren't as populous as the Danins. Probably figured...